just backtrack a little bit because, the goal of this podcast would be not for only vegans to be listening to. So hopefully there's as we go along here, a lot of people that were piquing curiosity. You just threw a lot into that last couple sentences about rape and babies and pus and blood. And it's kind of like, whoa, 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 whoa. What's happening? What are you talking about? And you're talking about the dairy industry. Can you take us through that in a bit more detail? So someone that has never heard what you just said I'm a huge, huge proponent and believer that if you are a feminist, you do not touch dairy foods. And why is that?
Yeah, because they rape the cows. They are artificially inseminate the cows with semen. They jack off the bulls, and it's a very graphic process involved where they have what's in the industry known as an acronym as a rape rod, and insert that into the female cows and kids so they can stay lactated for the demand of dairy. People are demanding dairy. So they impregnate those cows, and those cows have those calves. And if there's a male calf, they're being stolen and sent to the build industry to be chopped up within the first, couple of 3 months. And if it's a female calf, she's going to have the same outcome as her mother, where she's going to be raised to be a milk cow, and she's going to be raped. And I think the time length on that is far as they usually retire. They usually can't reproduce anymore or lactate anymore after, I want to say, 4 to 5 years. Don't quote me on that. But
no, you're right. It's about 4.
Yeah, and once that is done, they go to unfortunately, they get slaughtered then. So it's just a very violent, a very cruel, a very unnecessary way for us just to slap some white liquid onto cereal or into a cooking product where we can replace that with plant-based alternatives or even filter water. And so it's just a very sad, troubling industry.
There's not only that rape rod, but the person, if it's a vet or the farmer, inserts his or her arm and fist into the anus to be able to somehow give room for the vaginal canal. And then they put their incredibly painful. And of course, one of the things is that cows don't have the same expressions that we do. So we think, oh, they're fine. But how can anybody be fine with that? We know very well that
all species, we all communicate differently, right? Yeah. Every single one. Yeah. Who are we to say we know how they're feeling, what their experience is, and how that process is for them? It isn't,
And I'm so glad you talked about I heard you in a speech actually mention the rape of cows, and I think a lot of people don't realize that to get their milk, these cows have to be pregnant pretty much all the time. 10 months out of every year, they need to be pregnant to be able to give milk to us on a continuous basis.
To be set up on that machine and to produce milk, to produce milk that's then processed and filtered with hormones, steroids, other additives. Let's not even talk about all the organisms living in that milk that's really harmful for the body, the microorganisms. It's just, it's horrible.
And producing this material that's making humans sick, which we can take a turn into your nutrition meal planning program, Eat What Elephants Eat, which is they don't eat cow's milk, right? Last time I checked, elephants eat plants.
No, not at all.
Why is this milk for a baby cow not good for baby humans or adult humans?
I mean, it's simple. It's a different species. We should only be able to rely. It's getting milk or getting any type of product from a different species. It's just not natural. It's not the way we were designed or Mother Nature intended specifically. It's just not through the process of natural selection. Us humans, and there's a lot of credible professionals that have a background on this, will go on record as saying we're actually more closely related to herbivores. Some people define it as frugivores or any other type of scientific term out there than we are carnivores. We just lack the physical attributes to be natural hunters. We can't claw, we can't chew on meat raw without cooking up the food and destroying some of the bacteria. There's nothing natural about eating meat. Absolutely nothing natural, or about consuming milk.
So tell us about your online food program. I know it's just beginning and you're going to be expanding it rapidly.
Yes. So over my travels, I've been on a public speaking tour for years, and I've been all over the world. And one of the most one of the biggest problems that I kind of came into as an activist and as a public speaker is I was causing all this disruption. There was even one point that I had one of the largest vegan male accounts online, and people was ready to go vegan. They was ready to go vegan. They're like, "Dom, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go," but I didn't have a solution.
Mm-hmm.
I can delegate and refer them to different entities and third parties, but they'll always come back like, "No, I don't think you understand. I want to eat like you. I believe in you. I know you're a man of integrity." And they believe in my mission. And so I vetted some of these organizations and and these solutions, and a lot of them just didn't have the complete package for me that I felt good about promoting to my followers and people that believed in my message. Because if I had a banana for every direct message or email I received for people to please help me out, I would have had over 20,000 bananas over the years. So I sat down with my team for a year, and we created and developed a program where it's over 2,000 recipes, literally thousands and thousands of recipes, plant-based recipes, where no matter if you're a college student or you're a working professional, you are an athlete, or you just someone that just want to eat better. If you have 5 minutes in the kitchen or 50 minutes in the kitchen, we wanted to make plant-based eating not only accessible to everyone in the world, but more importantly, affordable, because I come from that type of background. So with that program we created, we personalize, you just fill out a questionnaire and we'll personalize your meal planning. We even teamed up with Amazon to a couple other third parties in different localities where we produce this amazing meal planning services. Then we show you how to cook it. And it's just an amazing program where you can remove all types of allergies. If you don't like gluten, you don't like soy, you don't like nuts, and you don't like tomatoes or avocados, you can remove up to 700 ingredients, and we can produce it specifically for you. And we'll assign you a food coach that you can chat with or email, or Monday through Friday, even give a call to if you have any problems for you, your family, your kiddos, you name it. So that was important for me to put that out there. It's a true all-in-one solution center, and I think it's one of the best on the market.
And how can people find that?
They can just go to eatwhelelepantseat.com.
And you're wearing, I can see your T-shirt, and I think, although you need to sort of stand up a little bit so that folks can see it. Eat what elephants eat.
There we go.
Yes. And perfect. You actually have a clothing line too, called Crazies and Weirdos, which is the largest vegan clothing line.
Well, it's one of the largest. Yes, we were one of the original ones 5-6 years ago. It started off as a passion project because at that time, the poaching crisis, what was happening to the elephants and the rhinos in Africa, was at an all-time high. And I thought, what better way to help raise funding for rangers and drones that these organizations in Africa was fighting the poachers with, to help do it through a T-shirt campaign. And I thought what better way to do it than through just to launch a shirt that I thought was cool, that people would love. So I slapped and trademarked my slogan that everyone knows, "Eat Well Elephants Eat," onto a shirt and put it on me and threw up my gun. And that shirt, that photo is still the most shared photo of me throughout the world, and it went viral. Mm-hmm. And it's to this day, it's one of the top-selling vegan shirts, followed by Clark Kent was vegan, which you've probably seen a lot of celebrities like Miley Cyrus, Rock, and a couple other celebrities. So it's pretty cool.
So did you get the phrase "eat what elephants eat" because people look at you and they see how in shape you are and they say, "What do you eat?"
No,
or where do you get your protein?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about it, because I've been doing this for a long time, but years ago, that used to be a question I would get a lot. Where do you get your protein? Where do you get your protein? Today, I don't get those questions more. People just ask me, well, how much protein?
There we go.
What's
Progress.
the best source of protein? They're educated enough because you got so many athletes and so many influencers and influential people now adopting our lifestyle. So we are now a strength of, we're an army. We're big. We're a force. And I think people are finally starting to get that. So with Eat Well Elephants Eat, like I said, at that time, I thought, the biggest, strongest, most amazing and largest walking vegan is an elephant. As far as if you think about its diet, in terms of diet. And I just tell people all the time, eat what elephants eat. And that has always been a mantra of mine and that I created. And I slapped it on the shirt. So I'm happy I did it because it's really iconic now. It's like the Coca-Cola of the vegan community. It's really cool.
So thank you so much for tuning in today. If we helped you in any way, then click the subscribe button and let's keep hanging out together. We have so much more to share with you.
And if you need more information on actually making the switch for good, please visit us at switchforgood.org for loads of info. And you can subscribe to our mailing list where you will receive all sorts of super cool gifts, discount codes to our very fave dairy-free products, and a lifetime of powerful health tips.
So join us on the journey to switch for good. This is the future.